welcome back to the Welloff Podcast, coming to you from iHeartMedia in Hartford, Connecticut. I'm your co-host, Dr. Tara.
I'm Gina Sim. Welcome back to Connecticut, Tara. Always great to have you here.
I know, it's really special. But I do prefer to come when the weather's warmer.
I know, it is a little chilly up in here. And in the studio, it's freezing, and I am always cold.
Me too. I'm really excited about the topic that we're talking about today because you have been dealing with the care of your father for many years now.
Yes.
And I am watching my best friend in real time deal with a very difficult situation with her dad, and it's coming for all of us.
It's
part of life.
It is. We're getting to that age. I say to my friends all the time, when did we get to the age where we have to start to worry about our parents and, worry about their health and what's happening? And it's a lot. It's a lot in retirement and all of that.
It's true. And people are living longer, which I'm on a mission. You know that. I'm very into longevity and the blue zones and always looking for ways to be healthier and live longer. But I want to live. I don't want to exist, and I don't want to be a burden on my children because I'm afraid they might stick me in a bad nursing home. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope not.
No, and nursing homes are tricky. So, my dad's in a nursing home. He had a stroke 8 years ago and has been, it's been a lot, so especially, he's handicapped and trying to find transportation and trying to, find ways for him to still do some of the things that he wants to do. And I'm super excited for our guest today.
Yeah, so today in the studio, we have Steve Lamantini. He is the owner of Lion Share Professional Services, but he is also known as the professional son, and we're going to find out what that means and what his services provide. So welcome, Steve.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So talk to us. Tell us all about your business, what it means to be a professional son, and how did we get here?
So we got here, I was a police officer. I retired after 22 years. And during that time, my dad got diagnosed with dementia. And I found it extremely difficult. We didn't live near each other because of where I worked. And it was very difficult to find someone that I trusted to assist him doing the things that we needed to get done. So when I retired, I decided I was going to open a business, basically doing the things that I needed when my dad was ill. And it turned into me helping out with some simple things from a ride to the doctor to helping people at their house to, running some errands and assisting with some minor decisions into them really depending on me to do everything. And basically the way it works is they determine what they want to do. I look at the scenario and then we do our best to make happen what they want to do. Whether that's them staying home, whether that's going to a doctor's appointment in New York City, or whether that's flying to Florida for a couple of days. I've been in Mexico with a client for 6 days. I have clients that I fly across the country to go visit relatives or to go for certain events that they want to go to, and everything in between. I do a little bit from just showing up to help somebody change a light bulb all the way until spending 10 days to help assist someone move to Florida and bring in assistance and meet with a care manager to help that person transition. Basically, my clients kind of started referring to me as their professional son. So I started running with it, and I started calling myself the professional son.
Because, you're doing all the things
That's right.
a child would do for their parents, but it's, we don't always have the time. So
we don't always have the children. Many of my clients don't have any children. They don't have anyone that lives local that they can depend on. I have one gentleman that lives here that he has no one. I'm the only contact. I assist with that. He has a conservator, but I assist with everything that he needs to do and wants to do with no relatives here.
Like a professional assistant.
Yeah.
But in life.
Yes, you could say it's a professional life assistant.
I discussed with you earlier before we recorded that I worked in home health care early in my nursing career many years ago. And so many of those businesses were created by people like you who had a family member and they just couldn't find the care. And so they said, you know what, I'm starting my own business. So I think it's amazing what you're doing because it's such a vital service. And it helps people age, I think, with dignity and maintain a life that they once knew. And that is such a gift.
Absolutely. That is the key. I wanted my dad to live with dignity. And now my clients, they are experiencing things that they used to do their whole life. They just need a little help. They don't need a full takeover. They don't need someone to babysit. They just need a little bit of assistance with doing the things that they once did, or a modification of the things that they once did, to keep them happy, to keep them into socializing with people, and to keep them fulfilled.
Sure. So how does it work? What are all the logistics of the actual business?
So my business is pretty simple. My clients love the simplicity. I don't have any written contracts or minimum hours. Clients call, they schedule time, they tell me what they want to accomplish, what they want to do. Most of the time I do have to do what's called an assessment. I meet with them, their families, I look at the situation, their housing situation, and then they tell me what they want to accomplish. I then use my experience to decide what we're capable of and what we're not capable of. And then I tell the clients what I think we can do and what we can't do. I've never had a client that was unhappy with my assessment of the scenario and what we were able to accomplish. Then they just book the time. I'm booked in half-day services or full-day services, or obviously when I'm flying someone across the country or staying with them somewhere, it's a customized thing. But yes, I also do services in the evening or on the weekends. I rent a wheelchair van for clients and bring them to Bushnell to the Bushnell to see shows. Any number of things that you can think of that you would like to do, I'm assisting them and helping those activities continue.
Really wonderful.
I know.
And I would imagine your prior career in law enforcement provides a sense of safety and security for your clients as well.
I think it builds an immediate level of trust. I tell them all, you can Google me, look me up, do your due diligence.
Sure.
And they don't do it for very long. They see what's there, and they basically, after meeting and talking, and we build a relationship rather quickly. That's one of the things that I try to concentrate on, is building the relationship with clients so that they have a trusted person that's not a family member that they know that they can count on and they can go to. And I tell everybody that I run into, with the level of scams and things out there for seniors now, just call me. The big thing is just call someone and don't do anything where someone is rushing you. And I've gotten phone calls from people that aren't my clients that just call and say, I got this email, and I tell them, call the police, call your local police department. And so it has turned into quite a scenario of people calling for just a plethora of different things.
I get so many calls and emails, and I often think, what do the elderly do? That aren't tech savvy, or, that don't know better. Because sometimes I have to look at a piece of mail twice, or an
there's so many
email.
scams out there. I know my mom will send me a text and be like, this isn't real, right? It's like just to verify. And it's like
so sad.
very easily they can kind of get into that. But
And the tech savvy thing is difficult.
Yes.
I've had to assist clients with the medical appointment at home through the phone, telemedicine. They sometimes just don't understand the concept of it and the actual use of the equipment. They can't master at that point.
Yeah.
And so it really is. It is a difficult thing.
So you're a Connecticut-based business and you work with Connecticut residents.
I am.
Do you expand? Are you expanding to other states? Do you have any plans to do that?
So I have clients that are all over. I've had clients in Florida. I've had clients in New Jersey. I've had clients in San Francisco, Seattle.
Okay.
I bring clients anywhere they want to go in the country. I fly with them. And also I've had clients call from a number of states interested in me assisting them getting somewhere as well. So I am a Connecticut-based business. However, I service basically anywhere in the country. I actually have clients that are looking at going out of the country with assistance from me.
Oh, wow. And I mean, it's kind of like, if somebody's living their best life, I feel like you get to live their best life in your best life. Like you get to do all these things as a part of your job. And that must be, a little bit fun on the.
Sometimes it's a little bit fun, but I'll tell you what the really fun part it is meeting the people that are involved in this and talking to them, like sitting on a plane and talking to one of my clients for 3 hours, and you get to learn about their life and all the experiences that they've had. It's amazing. It's really cool.
It's so sad to me that the elderly are marginalized because they are so wise and they've had so many life experiences. And when my daughter was in middle school, they had something called the Intergenerational Club. and they assigned a sixth grader to an octogenarian, and they would meet for lunch and they'd have to sit and talk.
Wow.
And I always thought that was so wonderful because the young get to know the old in a different way, and they learn. I mean, you're sitting with people who lived through the wars that you're reading
it's like
about.
My grandfather about the wars, and it's just like you just learn so many things.
But it bothers me.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I know, it was very sweet.
I learned so much. I can't even tell you. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. So you start to learn what you can do, what you can't do. You learn lessons. That was a mistake. But most of what I learn is from talking to the clients and the things that they've gone through, from escaping Germany to fighting in the war to going bankrupt to working for Hugh Hefner to hanging out with Frank Sinatra and Buddy Hackett in New York City. I mean, I've just the people, and I've met such interesting people.
Cool. That is really cool.
Do you have a profile? Like, is there a certain type of elderly person that might acquire your services? Like, is it a certain demographic? Like, were they very, I don't know, worldly or wealthy, or does it run the gamut?
I would say that it runs the gamut. The people that are most interested in my services are the ones that want to accomplish something. Those are the clients that I love to get because I know I'm really helping. Whether it's the goal of, I've had a client that really enjoyed playing golf, but he had Parkinson's. Now, I'm a certified dementia practitioner, so I work with people with dementia all the time.
So you do have some of the care in you.
I do. Yeah. I definitely do. But, to just go out and play 1 or 2 holes of golf and then come back to the clubhouse and he has a martini with his friends, that's a huge day. That is comparable to the normal going out playing 18 holes, coming back in, and then hanging out with your buddies all night when you were 35. Mm-hmm. Well, at 82, the 1 or 2 holes of golf and lunch with half of a martini is the same thing. And that's how rewarding it is to help people be able to do stuff like that.
So you're modifying and accommodating how they used to live.
Yes.
So they can still do it, but at the level at which they're able today.
Absolutely. Like, I've had fishermen that wanted to go fishing, and physically they're incapable of doing that anymore. But they were totally capable of me bringing them to Burlington to go to the fish hatchery. So we went to the fish hatchery, and the fish are from little tiny minnows all the way up until 12, 13 inches long that they release into the local rivers and lakes. And a couple times they've seen the people in there scooping out the fish into the truck, and they think it is fantastic. So I can't bring them fishing anymore due to their limitations, but I can certainly bring them to the fish hatchery, and they have a fantastic day.
So you find a way to make it work.
Find a way to make it work. The military guys love going to the Air Museum.
Oh.
So, and they're so cool up there, and they have a power cart, and I think some of my clients like the power cart better than the actual museum, but they absolutely love going up there.
I love that. That's great. So I want to kind of go back to something Tara and I were talking about in the beginning of the episode is, Tara and myself are at the age where our parents are getting older, and my mother's going to live till she's 100. Like, I'm just convinced. And so, what are some things that you can tell, people like us about, things to prepare for, look for, and then what to do once it starts happening?
So some of the things that I would recommend, that what I've seen, is the first thing you're doing is talking to them. I have a lot of clients that they're kids, and they never talked about what they wanted, where they wanted to go, how they wanted things to end up. And now the clients are trying to do that at the end, and they don't feel the same way. So my recommendation is everybody should talk to their parents, talk to their loved ones, find out what they want. Do you want to stay in the house? Do you really want to stay in the house forever? Do you want to go look at some assisted living facilities?
Right.
I got to tell you, sign me up for the assisted living facility.
Same.
I'm ready.
Bingo at 5.
I'm ready now.
Okay.
Bet it's 7.
That's why we don't. Yeah.
It's just we're in Connecticut and it's a snowy day. Mm-hmm. All those assisted living facilities, the people get up, they walk down to breakfast, they go to the gym, they meet their friends, they have happy hour. The weather hasn't affected them, whether it's 105 or whether it's 12 below. They are living the same.
You're like putting a plug in. I'm like interested now.
It's really cool. You don't feel like cooking that day. Some of them have kitchens, some of them don't. You walk downstairs, you get a snack, you get a meal. You sit with your friends, you don't sit with your friends. It's definitely a way of living that people aren't used to, but I find they get used to it very quickly.
Yes.
And most people do enjoy the assisted living.
And it also is expensive.
It is not cheap. Yes, it is not cheap. But I think the clients that are going that way have sold their homes and are using their income and their home sale to basically say, we can live here for 25 years affordably. And hopefully they're thinking, I'm not going to live that long. I'm going to enjoy this as long as I can. That's most of what the clients that I deal with.
Gotcha. I feel like a lot of people avoid those kind of discussions and planning because they don't want to think about their demise or, losing any functioning, which is detrimental.
Yes, I would say they don't want to talk about it until they want to talk about it. And when they want to talk about it, it's in the middle of it and it's very difficult.
Right.
Like I tell people all the time, I assist with downsizing and moving and getting people into an assisted living or a better scenario. And I tell them, move when you want to move. Don't move when you have to move. That's right. And it's the same thing with all of this stuff. If you can plan, if you can look at options, if you can talk to your family and make even the smallest of decisions as to which way you want to go, it makes it a lot easier when that time comes. Your family will assist you. They don't have to figure out what you wanted. They don't have to depend on you to be in the middle of an emotional tragedy and you're trying to make decisions. They already know. And it just goes a lot smoother that way.
Sure. So that's one thing, having the conversation. Is there anything else that you think is helpful in planning ahead? And
I would say that, you have the conversation, but write some stuff down. The families that I know that have totally it's not an issue. Everything goes smooth. They wrote everything down. This is the places that mom picked out that she wanted to live. This is what dad wanted to do when he got older. This is who one of the biggest things is who's going to get all my stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I tell my clients? Give it away while you're here.
That's right. Yeah.
Let your family, your friends enjoy. I have many clients that have given away all their jewelry, most of their furniture, all the lamps that they had from wherever. And they got to decide who got what. And when they go to their home, they get to see it right there and enjoy it again on someone else's table.
I'm laughing because, so many times, I'll have conversations with my mom or my dad and, they're like, I never said that. I didn't do that. That didn't happen. No. That's not what I said. And I'm like, but it is, so like, if we write it down, I'd be like, write it down. You said it right here and you signed that you said that. So I think I'm going to start doing that.
It's just, the families will take out like a little notebook that they have and it's just like a planning for getting older later. And, the ones that do that, it just seems to go so much smoother.
Yeah.
For sure. So we ask everyone on our podcast the magic question of what does Welloff mean to you?
So, I had to think about that question. And if I were to answer that question 10 years ago, I would have said, I want a healthy, happy retirement. And I want to, play golf and really enjoy myself and get out and socialize as I get older. That would have been my well-off in the end. But 10 years ago, 8 or 10 years ago, I met my now wife, and she has a special needs daughter. And now it's spending the most amount of quality time with her. That's well off.
And you're
for
a
me.
Newlywed. Congratulations.
I know. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's only been 12 days now. Total success in 12.
Another question I wanted to ask you before we let you go is, you're constantly around all of, this, the elder, like sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's, what do you do to kind of like separate and compartmentalize, your work from your own personal mental health and well-being and how you stay well?
That might be one of the toughest things. I mean, I do go in knowing that, people are, they're older. I'm not servicing teenagers that are going to be around. So you have to kind of go into it knowing that you're helping people get to that point where they want to be. You have to accept that they're not going to be your client for 30 years. It's not like when you start a business and you're 20 and I'm your plumber for 30 years.
Right.
It's not like that. But I will tell you that, I spend a lot of time with the clients that's quality. And it's easy for me to look back and say, look at all the good things we did together. That's probably my way of dealing with the fact that, they're only around for so long. It is stressful. The police department career did help with some of that processing. But now it's the little things, like I mentioned before, that little girl, Sophie, that I go home to. All good.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, because I mean,
and my wife, by the way, it's Amy. Same thing. But she's life changing. She just kind of puts everything in a different perspective.
Sophie's lucky to have a stepdad like you.
Thank you.
I know. I was thinking, like, you make relationships with these people, and then they might not be around for a long time.
Yeah. One of the things I just started doing is the clients that I build kind of a special bond with. There are clients that I don't help very much, occasionally here and there, but there are clients that I help a lot and I spend a ton of time with. And when they go, the family, I will usually say, is there, nothing of value, but is there something that I can have to remind me of a client? And I've started to put those things like in my house, in my golf bag. And now, so I'm constantly looking at, some of the relationships that I had, and it's a positive thing.
You're a sweetie.
Yeah, I know.
I love that.
I'm like all warm and fuzzy now.
We have to let you go, but I'm dying to ask, what's the oddest request you've ever had?
The oddest request, you have to remember now I deal with people with dementia, so I've had some extremely
I want to hear it all.
color requests, but some of it is yes, it's more of like can you bring me to Israel, and can you move in here, can you sleep over? Those are the type of things that
in a sexual way.
I mean,
Well, I only ask because I have a friend whose husband has dementia. And part of it was he was very amorous with other women, like right in front of her. And she's like, hello. Like she understood what was happening, but at the same time, like, come on, pal.
So hypersexuality is part of some dementias. So do I have to deal with that? Yes. I have had requests that I've had to deny
Amy.
based and it's those are to be, you almost like it's expected now. It's just part of what I have to deal with and what you do. But yeah, the requests, some of them are off the wall. You have to just say it's not within the limitations of what I do.
So you don't wear the muscle tank around.
I try not to. I go straight polo shirt. I do wear shorts a lot. I tend to look like a golfer as I'm working. So comfort is definitely a factor after wearing a uniform for 22 years.
Last question. They just keep coming.
I know, they keep coming.
I love them.
Do you deal with nursing homes?
I do deal with nursing homes. I deal with assisted living facilities. I'm somewhat of what they call a problem solver for those type of companies and residences. They often can't find someone to bring someone somewhere, attend the event or attend this appointment, and coordinate everything such as planes, trains, cars, rides, overnights. So a lot of times they'll call me in when they just can't do something. I also have many clients that are in assisted living facilities that I help on a regular basis. So I'm in assisted living facilities all the time, but I also go to nursing homes upon occasion. I've actually gone in just to have some socialization. Like they just wanted me to read a book to this gentleman. And so I would go in once every couple of weeks and I would just spend 4 hours with him. I'd bring a snack, we'd have some ice cream and I would read a book with him and we would do a puzzle. And so, yes, I am in those type of...
You don't deal with, like, if there's any kind of, like, neglect or anything, you don't, like, get involved and help with that kind of aspect?
Gina's asking for a friend.
I'm asking for a friend.
So if my clients, I'm extremely protective of my clients. So I make sure that my clients run everything by me. If there's any question, any worries, I'll go to the house to attend, someone installing something, making sure things are proper. When I have many that are in assisted living facilities, I make sure they're well taken care of in that assisted living facility. Okay. A lot of my clients don't have family that are going to see them every day. And a lot of times those clients, they need just a little bit of someone to advocate for them a little bit. Yeah. whether it's just simply getting something fixed in the apartment, or whether it's, hey, listen, this person needs a little attention in this particular area, whether it's cleaning the apartment, cleaning them. Yes, I do advocate for all my clients.
And I've started to put those.
Well, this is such a much needed service. It is a privilege to grow old, because not everyone has that opportunity when we lose them too young. But when we do get old, we need support. So how can our listeners find you? And again, I want to stress the fact that you are national. So how can they acquire your services?
So they can simply go to my website. I actually have two. The professionalson.com will get you to my website, and lionssharefamilyservices.com will get you to the website as well. I have a cell phone number that is my cell phone number that everybody calls me on. It's 860-836-6531. And if you go to the website, it's got tons of information, video. There's all kinds of ways to connect with me on there. You can ask questions. And I usually encourage people to go there because the website actually makes people ask me questions. Mm-hmm. And it's easier for me to address how I can assist them when they have questions.
Fantastic. Sounds like everyone needs a professional son.
Seriously. Yes. Thank you for sharing all of your tips, and, definitely something to think about for everybody as you have aging parents.
Well, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being here.
And thanks. A little shout out to Jackie in the Glastonbury Scoop. Woo, woo. Thanks for coming in today.